بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We've gone through two of the major fiqh rules, legal maxims, قواعد الفقهية. الأمور بمقاصدها, actions are by their intentions, and certainty is not removed by doubt. اليقين لا يزول بالشك. We move on to a very important fiqh rule as well, and it's called المشقة تجلب التيسير. Hardships warrant concessions. Now, generally speaking, when there is hardship, there is ease. Concessions means rukhsa, means a permission, something that makes something easier. And first of all, does Islam promote hardship? Unfortunately, some people think so. And that is why you hear people say, I will perform Hajj this year on foot. Meaning I will not ride. I will go from Mina to Arafah to Muzdalifah, back to Mina to Mecca, all on foot. Why? He said, because I want more reward. Now, does Allah Azza wa Jal encourage us to do something like that? Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not laid upon you in religion any hardship. And Allah says, لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. Allah does not burden a person beyond his scope. So definitely, hardship is not intended. In Hajj, we have a lot of people performing Hajj. Among them, there are people who are deviant, and they have their own fiqhi rules. So among the deviant sects, you will find buses that have no roof. What is this? They say, oh, it is not part of ihram to have something on top of you. Subhanallah. So they travel from one place to the other with the heat of the sun on their bodies, and they think that they're getting closer to Allah. This is ignorance. Allah doesn't want to burden you. Allah doesn't want you to be harmed or to put a lot of stress on you. And that is why the Prophet said, alayhi salam, Inna ad-deena yusr. Religion is easy. And no one would fight religion except religion would beat him. If you want to make life difficult, Allah Azza wa Jal will make it difficult to you. When people came to the Prophet ﷺ and they investigated about him, and they told him that he used to do this and he used to do that, these three people said, the Prophet ﷺ has been forgiven his sins. I will never sleep at night. I will always pray. The second one said, I will never marry women. And the third one said, I will never break my fast. Every single day I will fast. And the Prophet heard this. He was outraged and angry. And he said that I sleep and pray, I fast and eat, I marry women. Whoever chooses a sunnah other than mine is not from me. So do not fight Islam. Islam is easy. The Prophet ﷺ illustrated this on Eid, when the Abyssinians came to the masjid to practice with their spears. It's a sort of a dance, but actually it teaches you the techniques of fighting in war. It's like a kata in karate, for example. So they were nice to watch. And the Prophet said to Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, do you want to watch? And she said, yes. So he sat down and she put her chin on his shoulder. So he was covering her with his body, but she was watching as they were playing in the masjid. And the Prophet said, had you had enough? And she said, no, a little bit more, a little bit more. And she wasn't watching, but she wanted the other wives to look at her next to the Prophet ﷺ Look, the Prophet favors me. The Prophet loves me. Allahumma salli wa sallim alayhi. And she was a young woman. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wassalam, when he was asked, why are you doing this? Why are you letting Aisha and letting the Abyssinians play with their spears? He said, so that the Jews would know that we have ease and room in our religion. Because Allah had sent me with Al-Hanafiyyah Samha. Allah has sent me with the religion of ease, without any hardship. The Prophet ﷺ once was praying and he heard a child crying. Look at the ease of the religion. What did he do? After he finished the prayer, did he scold and reprimand the woman? Are you fool? Why do you bring your child? Stay home. Children must not come to the masjid. No. A lot of the imams do this because they don't know the sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ hastened in prayer. He did not pray in the normal speed. He quickly finished it. And after he finished the prayer, he justified it to his companions. He said, I heard the cry of the child, and I was afraid that his mother's heart would be occupied and stressed. So I hastened in my prayer. And he did not say any word to the woman, which shows you that the religion is a religion of ease. There's no hardship. Even the things that benefit the Muslims, the Prophet ﷺ does not want to burden you. Taraweeh prayer. He prayed 3 nights or 4 nights. And everyone in the masjid was praying with him. Then he stopped. Why? He loves to pray Taraweeh. He loves to pray night prayer and lead his companions. He said, I was afraid that it might become mandatory upon you. So he wanted to ease his ummah. And that is why he said, had I not feared that I would burden my ummah, I would have ordered them to use the siwak with every salah. And in another narration, with every wudu. So he knew that if he ordered us, it would become mandatory. And if it became mandatory, it would be hard for us. And that is why the Prophet ﷺ did not do that. So this rule is very important for us to understand our religion. That hardship brings and attains ease. Al-mashaqqatu tajlibu at-taysir. A lot of the Muslims nowadays, they misinterpret this rule. So whenever they are given a choice, they always take the easy one, even if it's haram. So if you tell someone, Akhi, why are you doing this? He says, because it's an issue of dispute, and that's why I'm taking the easiest. But every single thing you find, it has a difference of opinion. Does this allow us to choose the easiest because in Islam, the hardships warrant concessions? Because of this qa'idah? Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, tells us that the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he was given the choice between 2 things, he would always choose the easiest. And we all know this hadith. He would always choose the easiest, but we fail to continue the hadith. This is what we take. It's like someone who does not pray. When you ask him, why don't you pray? He says, Allah says, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Woe to those who pray. And in another verse, mashallah, he remembers the Quran, memorizes it by heart. In another verse he says, and Allah says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةِ. And do not come close to salah. So that's why I don't pray. Subhanallah, continue, complete the verse. Do not approach salah when you're intoxicated. Do not approach salah, oh khalas. وَيْلُ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. Those who are neglectful from observing prayer on time. These are the ones who's under the threat. So a lot of the Muslims, they say, Aisha said, may Allah be pleased with her, the Prophet, whenever he was given the choice between 2 things, he would choose the easiest. Continue, unless it has haram. And if it contains haram, the Prophet would be the furthest from it. So now you are not allowed to come and say, well, Imam Hanbali says so, Imam Shafi'i says so, I'll take the easiest. No, this is not permissible for you. And this is why a lot of students of knowledge, unfortunately, go astray. What did Allah tell you? Allah told you to obey the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not to look for the difference of opinion among scholars and choose what you like. Because eventually you will find something that you like, but it is against the Quran and Sunnah. So if someone says, I met this beautiful girl in college, and I told her, let's get married. She said, how? I said, listen, Abu Hanifa says, it's okay if we marry without a wali. And Imam Shafi'i says, it's okay, in one of his opinions, to marry without mahar, without dowry. And Imam Malik says, in one of his opinions, it's okay to marry without 2 witnesses. So alhamdulillah, we'll marry on these 3 madhab. Do you marry me? She says, yes. I say, let's go, my home. Is this marriage? This is clear zina. She says, no, he's following the schools of thought. No, he's playing with the schools of thought. The Prophet says there is no marriage without a wali, regardless of what others says. He said that. Who are you following? The Prophet ﷺ or someone else? So choosing and picking as you wish, this is the wrong way of worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal, and this is playing around. Therefore, you must choose the easiest, providing that the Sharia allows you to do so, not because you like it. Nowadays, with the satellite channels, people just hold the remote control, and when the wife comes and says, I'd like to go to this city to travel to meet my parents, but I don't have a mahram. He said, no problem, sit. He clicks, the first Islamic channel says, traveling with a mahram is a must and the woman is not allowed to. Goes to second channel, the sheikh says, it is permissible for a woman if she is with a company that's trustworthy and with other women, it's okay for her to travel. She said, okay, khalas, you can go. He doesn't look for the Quran or for the Sunnah, he looks for the difference of opinion among scholars. We have a short break, stay tuned, and inshallah we'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Now, we've talked about hardship, generally speaking, and that hardships warrant concessions, and this is our rule. But what kind of hardship? See, scholars divide hardships into 2 types. Hardships that are normal, that are regular, but this does not prevent them from being hardships. For example, making wudu in the freezing winter, or when the water is cold. When you make wudu, it's cold. Or in summer, the water is hot, it's almost boiling, but there is hardship, definitely. But if you make wudu, will you die? Maybe your arm would fall? No, nothing's gonna be harmful to you. Likewise, if you fast when it's hot and the day is long, how do you feel? I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, oh, I'm tired. Okay, are you going to die? No, but it is hard. This hardship is normal. Likewise, in giving zakat, for example. If you have money in the bank and it's time for you to give zakat, and your zakat is this much, how do you feel when you give the zakat? I feel my heart is tearing away. I am dying, I'm suffocating. I'm giving my money that I worked hard for these poor people, for these peasants. Why don't they work? So it is hard on you if you're not a true practicing Muslim who wants to purify your money. Likewise in Hajj. Are you going Hajj this year? No. Ya akhi, you're almost 70 years old. When are you going to make your faridah for Hajj? He said, Wallah, every time I want to go and I look at the TV, everybody in the world is in Mecca. There is no place you can stand. It's hot and I'm afraid that I will be lost and maybe people will step on me. Maybe I will get chicken flu or fish flu or camel flu. They have new flus nowadays. Akhi, this hardship is normal. It's part of the religion. This is not acceptable. Likewise, there are hardships in jihad. And jihad is one of the greatest pillars of Islam. You go and you die. But for what? For a greater cause. To defend your religion, to defend your country, to defend your wealth. This is all kind of jihad. But if you say, I'd like to go to jihad, but I don't want to be injured, and preferably not to get my clothes dirty, and definitely not to be killed. Can we have something like, sorry, you're in the wrong place. So hardship is there. If someone steals money and we catch him and the judge says that you have to amputate his hand, he says, oh, this is hardship, haram. No, you deserve this. Because this kind of hardship is accepted, and if we take it in, then nobody would be able to perform forms of worship. It's hard for me to make wudu. It's cold. It's hard for me to wake for Fajr. I'll pray it in the noon, inshallah. It's hard for me to fast, so I'll just pay money. No. Then we will not have any deen. We will not have Islam. We will not have our religion being established. This hardship is not the one we're talking about. We're talking about the hardship that would harm a person, that he would be afraid of losing his wealth, of losing his health. This is the type of hardship that we are talking about. And it's divided into two types, general and specific. And we will come to talk to this, inshallah, after I take your questions. So if you have any questions. Yes, Farid.
Sheikh, as you said that, as it is mentioned in the Quran, that we cannot approach Salah while someone is in the state of intoxicants. So if a person has certain weakness, like he's trying to get over having alcohol, slowly, bit by bit. But if the Salah time approaches, and if he's in the state of intoxicants, so should he just let the time pass by, or should he offer the Salah?
First of all, I believe that such a person would be in a state of intoxication that he would not be a faqih. He would not be a scholar to say, now I am intoxicated. Shall I pray or not? It's a different opinion amongst. He's wasted. He's intoxicated. So we tell him, no, you don't. Even if he wants to pray, he says, no, sit down, don't pray. Because then he would say wrong things. He would recite the Quran wrongly. He may say kufr. And that is why in the hadith, authentic hadith, the Prophet says, whenever one wants to pray night prayer, he should pray as long as he's conscious. But if he's sleepy, he should not pray and go to bed. Why? He says he may go and ask Allah for dua, and instead he curses himself. So instead of saying, oh Allah, forgive me, he says, oh Allah, curse me. Because he's asleep. In the case of intoxication, it's even worse. And this is a punishment. What use is it that he would pray in a state of intoxication? So that's why he is not supposed to pray, and this is not an acceptable weakness. We don't give excuses to sinners by saying, oh, the poor thing, he fell in love with that girl and they had to have zina. Ma ya haram, I feel sorry. No, you don't feel sorry for them. Allah tells us, the believers, in the beginning of Surah An-Nur, that they should be flogged 100 lashes. And a group of the believers should see and witness, and they should not have any mercy. Allah says, do not have any mercy with them because they're sinners. So we don't give them any excuses. So Allah knows best. Yes, Akhi.
Sheikh, my question is about the point which you mentioned about Aisha radhiyallahu anha, that she watched the men and they were non-mahrams for her. So was it only khas for Aisha radhiyallahu anha, or is it for anybody else, any other woman, she can watch the men having their sports?
As for Aisha, the norm is whenever there is a hadith or an evidence, ayah or something like that, we do not say that this is specifically for the Prophet ﷺ of this companion. There is a rule in Usul al-Fiqh, al-ibratu bi'umum al-lafz la bi khusus al-sabab. That what counts is the general text, not what it was revealed specifically for. Now, what's the ruling on women looking at men? Is it like men looking at women? Definitely not. That is why men do not wear the hijab. The men are easily affected by women, not the other way around. So the general answer would be, if a woman is not afraid of fitna, is not afraid of being tempted, then it is permissible for her to watch a presenter on TV, to watch someone walking, and not ordered to lower her gaze unless there is fitna. For the man, it's the other way around. Even if there is no fitna, you have to lower your gaze. Because you get people saying, I have no problem in watching beautiful women. Said, if you don't have a problem watching beautiful women, then you have to check your hormone levels. Maybe you're not a real man. Because this is human nature. Any more questions?
Sheikh, is Zohad is encouraged in Islam, like asceticism is encouraged in Islam. So how do we reconcile this qaida of hardship with Zohad? Because Zohad is hardship. And
No.
and it's
This
encouraged in Islam. So how will
yeah,
we reconcile?
this zuhud is leaving what doesn't benefit you. The scholars differentiate between wara' and zuhud. And they say wara' is to leave something that you will be punished over. While zuhud is a greater concept, which is leaving what doesn't benefit you in the hereafter. This has nothing to do with hardship, because your life on earth is considered to be hardship. Allah says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. Verily that we have created man in hardship. So, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, may Allah have mercy on his soul, was asked once, when does a slave, a servant of Allah, find rest? When will you find rest? He said, the minute he puts his foot in paradise. Before that, you will never find rest. You'll always have hardship. But hardship to hardship, comparing one to the other, is very different. So my hardship might be the luxury of someone in Somalia. So my hardship or my soft drink doesn't have ice. I cannot drink my soft drink, my soda, without ice. This hardship is a luxury to someone who's in drought and famine. He says, Akhi, give me anything. Give me the ice itself. Give me boiling soda. No problem, but I need something. So comparing hardship differs from one place to the other. We're talking about the hardship that is related to Islam. That I have money and it's time to pray in the masjid. And if I leave it, I cannot take it. I cannot carry it. Goods, something to sell. And if I go to the masjid and come back, it's gone. So what should I do? A mufti says, no, you have to pray in the masjid, or you'll be sinful and you'll go to hell. The guy says, okay. He goes and prays, comes back, all his wealth is gone. The mufti is wrong. This is a hardship. So when I know that this is the qaida of the fiqh rule, now I said, no, I compare apple to apple. This, I can pray next to my goods, and I prayed on time, and I prayed and protected my goods. So this is the hardship. It has nothing to do with zuhd. I believe that this is all the time we have. Until we meet next time. Fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.